that by doing this together, they've been encouraged to do a little more on their own, and they find time to do a little bit. And that's very encouraging for us to know that this helps others get there a little more often without being worried about it. And we are very fortunate to be here in this place that has been prepared for us. When all the mentors of this house, this place they get here earlier, they prepare everything for us, and our own personal mentors, our guardian angels, help us get here. We don't always feel that they're helping, but they are always there telling us, go now, get in the car, don't forget this, they always telling us it's time to get going. So we have to be very grateful for not only the mentors of this the center that prepare for us, but also our own mentors that help us all the time and give us permission to be here enjoying something that is very special, which is time within. What we're going to talk about today is the second day of reverence, because reverence is such an important theme in our life. Once you pay reverence to life, then you get to live. The minute you get distracted, you lose track of your own life, your own connection to life. To engage with life is to pay reverence to life. And we do it through going within, so we can go within, find the love, and share with others. That is when we are mostly paying reverence to life, when we surrender to the love that is inside us. And the more we surrender, the more abundant it gets to offer to the ones around us. And what a better gift to others than to offer our love. So we ask that the mentors inspire Valdo during his meditation. Today we are flip-flopping this here. So he's going to be doing the meditation. I'm very excited. I'm going to get to sit down and do it. So I'm really excited about it. So we hope that you all will surrender, open your hearts, and be ready to be connected with yourself, with your mentor, and with the mentors that are here to support us in this healing day healing evening, I should say, that we have together. May we be supported and guided, and may Valdo get a chance to share with us the best love he has inside in a surrendering mode. Okay, here we go.
Thank you very much, partner. It's great to be here with you. It's always a pleasure because, as Cristiane said, it is something a little bit different, especially for a spiritist center, because meditation is not something important and for us to understand what it is, but for us to practice, for us to really get into it. And Spiritism and meditation, they walk hand in hand. They're pretty much in the same path, and that's pretty much what we're going to talk first before we do our actual meditation. Our program consists of about 20 minutes of a meditation spiritism lecture, and then 20 minutes of the actual meditation. So what we try to do, we have a theme and we explore this theme. Sometimes only one meeting, only one encounter, it's not necessary, it's not sufficient for us to explore everything. So we sometimes have part 1, part 2, part 3, even if necessary. Let me just find my the little, that's okay. So we have selected, as we we do the we compare meditation and what's seen out there and what we have in Spiritism. We have selected this book, Seat of the Soul, by um, by Mr. Zukov, and it has very interesting content that teaches um, about meditation, and in the sense of how do we reason all of that information. So I'm just going. I just have this quote here, and then we're going to do some comparison what we have available in Spiritism for us to have a little more familiarity. Reverence is the perception of the soul. That's a big statement, right? So he goes on to say that reverence is engaging in a form of death, of contact with life that is well beyond the shell of form and into essence. Into essence. Reverence is contact with essence of each thing and person and plant and bird and animal. It is contact with the interior of its beingness. That's a different word, right? The beingness, like the fact that I'm here, I'm a being, I'm a human being, but I'm here present and I realize who I am. That's the beingness that's meant here. Even if you cannot sense the interior, it is enough to know that the form, the shell, it's merely an outer layer, and that underneath is the true power and essence of who the person is, or what thing is, it's present. That is what is honored in reverence. So in reverence, reverence is an invitation for us to dig deep, to really go inside of who we are. It's very similar to what we learn in Spiritism. The outside is just a layer. Outside is just a shell. Our true reality, our true essence is our soul, our spirit. And revering our soul, it's revering life, life that is so beautiful and so complex that we have the need naturally to be reverent. He goes on to say, whatever a person is reverent depends essentially upon whether he or she accepts the principle of the sacredness of life in any way that he or she defines sacred. So, being reverent, it's respecting, appreciating life, it's feeling life. So, before we feel alive, yes. How do you guys wake up today? Did you wake up alive? Did you feel some kind of energy? Some, absolutely, right? Good. Don't be shy. Good. Back there. Did you feel alive this morning? 2 hours. So your energy level was not out there. So it's maybe very quickly. It's important for us to talk about our 7 chakras too. We have the chakras in meditation, and meditation is so broad because there is a lot of the Eastern body of knowledge of meditation. There is the Western body of knowledge of meditation, but it's pretty ancient, because since we were known as breathing human beings, or even not even materialized, we are there is reverence inside of us, because we are made from something. We are creation. There has got to be a creator. So we are always in a state of paying tribute, or appreciating, or being grateful. So that's a very good connection that we have here. I have another slide that talks here. I don't have my changer here. I don't know what happened to the little instrument. So, reverence and divinity. This is where we start crossing a little more with the spiritual aspect of the meditation. The reverent person cannot consider himself or herself superior than any other person or to any form of life, because the reverent person sees divinity in all forms of life and honors it. So, and then we have a definition of the dictionary of one that we selected. What is reverence? A feeling of profound awe and respect and often love. Right? That kind of grasps well where we want to get with reverence. But the connection that we're making with the spirituality, with the spiritual being that we are, and revering that, the soul, making that connection with the soul, which most of the times escapes from us. We have the seven chakras, the crown, the third eye here, right in the middle of the head. Right here in our throat, we have another chakra. Three superior chakras, one right in the middle, which is the heart chakra. Then we have one more by our gastro system, one more by our reproduction system, and one the basic chakra, the root chakra, which is in the bottom. So we have these three chakras that connects us, root us down. And this is life and energy. It's us breathing and living and connecting with everyone and everything. That's what keeps us being human beings and connected and doing everything. And the heart, it's this engine, this powerhouse, and it's right in the center because of a purpose, because of the balance. These three chakras here are more connected to our divinity, to our essence, to the crown chakra here is where it's like a big antenna. We are receiving, we're sending. It's like right on top of our intellectual or brain here, because chakras are vital forces, vital fields, energetic fields. There's various names, magnetic, whatever you want to call it, but this is part of our being. We have this physical and this spiritual being and it's important for us not to live just from the heart with our feelings, our love, and our emotions, straight down to the earthly, the more material, um, the more day-to-day chakras. We have to be working with this three other chakras. This chakra here, above here, right in the throat, is where we manifest. What comes out of our mouth. What comes out of a man's mouth, a woman's mouth, it's what's in your heart. Whatever comes out of your mouth, it's your treasure. It reveals who you are. That's why we have to be so careful, right? 2 ears, one mouth, gotta listen more, right? And here, right above here on our forehead, this is us connecting to this life, our subconscious, other lives, and other spiritual forces having this sort of dimension of our power to feel. It's like while the heart is working to make everything balance, this one here is connecting with the world, with the universe. While the crown chakra is connecting directly with the divine, with the superior being, the supreme force, the primary cause of everything. You don't need to call it God if you're not comfortable, but you have to. We are connected to something. Call it the universe. Call it the supreme being, everything that's out there, because we are not made to be an individual, live a mediocre life, and just disappear. It's got to be more to it, right? So moving on. Am I going too fast? This is like a break for the awe. It's like, what is the awe part? Awe part is this. Oh, you're like, my goodness. Have you had this moment that you're just, it doesn't need to be in a mountain. It could be just, here we're very rich in ocean, right? We have beautiful ocean everywhere you go. We have a lot of trees. We have um, There's so much nature. We're very privileged, but we have this presence of this divine in nature, this beauty, and you cannot help it but just being awe, in admiration, in respecting that is so beyond us. So that was our awe moment. So now coming into Spiritism and just making a connection. Uh, it, in the Spirits book, which is, if you're not familiar with the Spiritist doctrine, I'm actually talking to the people who's going to watch this later or watching this now. Probably is not very familiar because I know you guys here are all know more than I do. We're all learning, right? But if you're not very familiar with the spiritual doctrine, the Spirits book was the first book of the spiritual Spiritist doctrine. Five five books by codified by Allan Kardec, but through mediums, we receive these messages, these explanations, this body of knowledge from superior spirits, dictated through very, very powerful mediums, very, very prepared mediums for that time in 1857. And that book, it's a question and answer book, very simple, 1,019 questions and straight answers. It's fantastic. It's like that's probably one of my first connections to spiritism because everything that I wanted to know, plus stuff that I never even thought about questioning. If I have to question of the highest intelligence regarding everything there is to know about the known and the unknown, the spiritual, the invisible life, it's there. So it's also an invitation for us to research. But in part number 3, which is called the moral laws, there is the first law there. It's called the Adoration Law, which is pretty much worship, similar to worship in English, right? And it's the connection to reverence. So what does worship entail? Or if you want to change the word for worship to reverence, you can do that. Worship is the lifting up of the thought toward God. Through worship, the soul draws near to its creator. So again, we have this in us. We are a creation. We didn't make ourselves. Do you think you made yourself? Did you? Did you make yourself? You have mommy and daddy. But mommy and daddy, somebody had to make mommy and daddy. And then if you go back, when this that stopped, when the chicken or the egg come first, right? Even if you say it was the egg, somebody had to make the egg. It was the chicken. So there, I mean, it sounds childish sometimes, but it is through simplicity that we have to get to these very important questions. Where I come from? What am I? What I'm made of? Where am I going? So this book is very enlightening. Another question following, right? Is worship the result of an innate sentiment or the product of education? Very, very important question. Look what Allan Kardec, is asking the spirits. Because you know what? Maybe we love God, we believe in God, and we believe in the superior being because we've been educated, our great grandparents, our parents, and so on, everybody. So you know what? The little child will follow through. It's a process of education. And then here comes the answer. An innate sentiment. Innate means that it's inside of us. It's already there. It's part of our DNA. And I'm not talking about the biological DNA. We're talking about the spiritual DNA. So it goes very, very deeper, much more rooted. Like that of the divinity. The awareness of their weakness leads humans to bow before the one who can protect them. And I don't know if any of you guys had any anthropology classes back on the days, college or so on, or some history. We always see in all kinds of culture. And we're not even talking about cultures of just one God, the monotheist culture. We're talking about cultures in general. There was always a culture of paying tribute to a God, to a deity, to a divinity. And why is that? It's because it's an innate feeling, sentiment. It's an innate necessity that we have. You know why? Because we realize how vulnerable we are. Have you ever tried to stay 3 minutes without breathing? Let's put 5. Some people's got a little more. What happens if we don't breathe for 5? What is 5 minutes? Nothing, right? What happens? We die. That's it. Game over. Game over. We're just talking very simplistic terms. But as part of our evolution, we've been through this process, to persevere, to preserve ourselves, to fight, to every day, like we have a saying, every day you have to kill a lion in order to make it to the next day. So this sentiment, this feeling, this necessity, this vulnerability, it's within us. That's why we have this connection to God. We have this need. It's in us already. Kardec goes further and says, okay, let's explore, let's get a little more clarity here. Have there ever been peoples, cultures, devoid of all sentiment of worship? No, because there have never been atheistic peoples. All have understood that there is a supreme being above them. So even people who declare themselves, no, I don't believe in any gods, while other people say, no, we have many gods, I believe in this God for this, this, and that, and other people will say, no, there is no such a thing. So that's in theory. In practice, there is no such people, culture, civilization that was not under a supreme force, a supreme cause, a supreme being that they had to pay reverence to it. Does worship have its source in natural law? Very good question again. Just to complete here. It is part of natural law. It's natural law. Natural law. It's all the laws there is. It's the laws that governs the universe. Like there are such a law like gravity. There are laws of work. We're talking about laws of worship, laws of society, reproduction, and so on, so on, so on. Love, justice, all of this. On top of all of the other laws that we know in physics, in biology, and so on, so on. It is because of the result of the innate sentiment in humankind. That is why we find it among all peoples, albeit expressed in different forms. So this is just to give just a quick glance of what we have of knowledge and information, that it was not coming from Kardec. He was just asking the questions. And he was actually even inspired to ask those questions most times. But the answers are very, go hand in hand what we're talking about with Mr. Zhukov's, whose work is dedicated to meditation. And then when we come to Spiritism, he talks about the soul. Reverence is the perception of the soul, it's revere life. But then for us, it's a little bit incomplete. And there is, and he goes on through this book, The Seat of the Soul, and he talks about what the source is, the universe. For us, it's still incomplete because we need to know exactly who is the creator, what is the soul, right? The soul is the spirit. So there's God. Who's God, right? If God is the creator, what is God? God is not a person. And that's why when we say, and if you're not comfortable to say God and have a relationship with God, it's okay to say the universe, because we don't know how big, how vast, how complex the universe is, but we know it exists. We know the universe has billions and billions of galaxies and so on, so on, so on, and it's okay. So he refers to the creation of the soul as the universe. But for us, we go a little more deeper, because we do have this information that there was one being that was the most perfect of them all, that just like us, which was Jesus the Christ. He came and he brought some revelation to us, and he referred to this creator as the Father. And so for us, it's very important, because it's part of our education. We're still educating ourselves spiritually to associate the creator with somebody that loves us so much and made us co-creators of all of that. So what happened to the flipping thing here? It's should be here. It's okay. We're good. No problem. So this, I like this from Milton. Gratitude bestows reverence, allowing us to encounter everyday epiphanies, those transcendent moments of awe that change forever how we experience life and the world. Gratitude. That's a key component for us to make this connection. Remember, we sit in front of a beautiful nature. We are in awe because we are paying reverence. We're connecting to that mountain, to the ocean, to the star, to the sun. But we have inside of us gratitude, and this feeling. This is unique. That that give us epiphany. And then talking about the chakras, we're talking about, if you want to work these three superior chakras, you'll be in this state of gratitude, of contemplation, compassion. Once we connect to the invisible, but you can feel, we are opening up the chakras, and we helping ourselves align and balance that. Last slide before we go through our actual meditation. Also, this is in Proverbs, right? Um, Reverence for God, can hardly hear. Reverence for God gives the man, please read it for me, gives where the children find a place and refuge. So the bottom line here is the word refuge. That's that's why I selected this Psalm 23, the Lord is my shepherd. This is one of the most powerful psalm that makes this connection with this reverence. Once we have this need, remember we're talking about this innate feeling, because we feel that we have to have some superior force because we are so vulnerable. We need protection. There is always a need for, at the same time, you are grateful, a gratitude, but you also understand that you need a refuge. Deep inside, we're like children, so fragile, because we are. And we need, and it's okay to have this need. So what we're going to do our meditation, we're going to do our meditation on Psalm 23. If you're not familiar, don't worry. We're going to do it together. So I'm going to just ask that we lower the lights, please, a little bit. And first, this is how we're going to do our meditation. Okay, I felt the sound might be a little loud. If you can lower the volume here. Okay, so it's gonna be a guided meditation. I'm gonna guide. Okay, I think the volume is okay, right? Too loud. Okay, so here's nature. Do not close your eyes. Just stay here with me. Follow me. And that's the reason why we're selecting Sound 23, because once we are connected to nature, we can make a very, very easy connection with God, with the Creator, with the universe. Again, just whichever you feel more comfortable in associating yourself to. So, in Psalm 23, It goes like this: The Lord is my shepherd. I shall not want. He makes me lie down on green pastures. Just follow here. Follow the images. Let sink in. Let these words of the psalm resonate with you before we actually do our meditation. He leads me. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside still waters. He restores my soul. He leads me in paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Even though I walk through the valley of shadow of death, I will not fear no evil. For you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil. My cup overflows. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I shall dwell in the house of the Lord forever. Now, keep this energy, let this sink in, and slowly let's feel ourselves very comfortable in our chairs. You can close your eyes now. Close your eyes. Breathe very, very deeply and hold it for a little bit. Let's do that again. Breathe in. Hold it. And let go all the way. Let this background music, the sounds of nature, clear your mind, clear your spirit. Let all thoughts, emotions, let them go. Just be present here. Be connected. Be connected. Now that we feel ourselves so light and so comfortable, and we feel that our mind is at peace, we are at ease. The first feeling that comes to our heart, translating to our mind, is this feeling of gratitude, of this beauty right before us. This beauty, and we connect to our Creator. We connect to God. We connect to the universe. And we appreciate that He brings us to lie down in these green pastures. That's a loving Father. That's a loving Father who loves His children so much and wants to protect them. So we can appreciate as we rest. We rest. We appreciate all kinds of life. The little birds, the flowers, little insects, this beautiful green mixture with lights, the sun giving us so much life and warmth and energy, this abundance of nature that nurture us, nurture our bodies, and make this existence a little lighter, even though we have to work for our daily bread. I shall not want. I shall not want because He provides. While I'm here laying down in these green pastures, I feel your presence. And further, Father, you take me beside still waters, the still crystal waters that refreshes my soul. I feel my soul. I'm so grateful, and I am so in debt with you for giving me so much. These waters that passes by, they start to wash away any of those old emotions, those feelings, those traumas. It's so refreshing. It is so refreshing. Thank you, Father. Thank you, Creator. Thank you, Universe. Thank you, Jesus, for bringing me there and knowing that I can always go there to this special place. And now that I am here, that you have brought me there, to this green pastures, to this beautiful nature, to this amazing place of peace, tranquility, that I can go inside of myself and find my soul, the true sense of life that I'm made for, to be in awe, to be in appreciation for life, not just the life that I can see, but the life I can feel. Thank you. Now that you have prepared me for this, that I'm more close to you, I know that I do have a journey of many responsibilities. You guide me through the path of righteousness. As a good father, you want us to do our best every time. However, we are tested. This path of righteousness is the path of wisdom. But again, you provide. You provide inside of us the answers. You provide through our intelligence, through our individuality, through our free will. We choose and we go through it with you beside us. Recognizing that I will make mistakes, sometimes so big of mistakes that I put my existence in check, in danger, the ones that I love. Through this journey, I will be faced with disease. I'll be faced with violence. I'll be faced with betrayal. I'll be faced with my own lack of faith, that I disconnected from the beautiful place He already took me, those green pastures, the tranquil waters. It's easy for me to be disconnected when I face my weakness. However, you're still there. You're there. You're beside me. And I shall fear no evil. No evil. Because you're right next to me. You love me so much that I feel your presence. I feel this warmth right now surrounding me. It's you. Even though I am walking in the valley of shadow and death, that I am even facing my end here, you will never leave me. You never will. You have provided me love and people that care for me, and I will not be alone, and I will fear no evil. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me, because I know as a good shepherd, you leave no sheep lost, and I will feel lost many times. But once I find myself in the deepest of the darkest valley, because I caused myself to be there, I was strayed. But I know the moment that I realize that a loving Father is waiting for me, is looking for me, I shall be redeemed and back home in your arms. It feels so good. You love me so much that once I make my way back home, for whatever reason, for whatever drove me in the wrong path, you love me so much that you bless my head with oil, with the oil of life. You bless me as your creature, as your son, as your daughter that was lost and now it's living again. You love me so much that you prepare a banquet before my enemies. That is the banquet of wisdom that I learned my lesson of selfishness, of vanity, of pride. You prepare this banquet because those enemies that live inside me, there is no room for them anymore. I have learned with my mistakes and I continue on learning. But I know that you are with me and you love me. So much love that my cup overflows. My cup overflows. Because when I get close to you, I can feel that there is an infinite, there is no end to your love. Such is that I feel the mercy and goodness will follow me as long as I am connected to you, as long as I am making myself closer and closer by everything I do every day, by the love I give, by the love I receive, by the goodness I make. This goodness will follow me as I do unto others, as I want the others to do unto me. I revere you, Father. I love you. I love you. Thank you so very much. I am so dignified to have a place with you, to do well with you. Thank you. Thank you. May your presence within me never, ever end. May I be revering you every day of my life. And so be it. Make this connection be an exercise of love for us and for all of those whom we love.
Keeping the same connection We take a deeper breath and start to come back here. Another deeper breath with gratitude. We slowly open our eyes, keeping that warmth, feeling of love in our hearts. A deeper breath. We move our arms a little, our head, coming back here. It's almost hard to come back. We are very grateful for all the mentors that prepared this space for us tonight, where we can find the healing waters for our soul to wash our worries, to wash our fears away. And when we do that with meditation, we find ourselves closer to our soul because we don't get distracted. We are closer to that divine light that lives inside us. And this meditation that brought us such a beautiful song gives us permission to once again believe that we are always protected. We find all the protection in our Creator, in our God. And tonight I invite you all to pay closer attention to a very special mentor that is always with us, our personal mentor, our guardian angel that was assigned by God to each one of us to help with the protection, to help with the intuition when we mostly fear that we don't have it. If we remember to go to this place where we've been tonight, and then we can connect and pay reverence to our own guardian angel that is right here with us, protecting us, guiding us, embracing us, even when we see the dark valley. We take a deep breath, we close our eyes, thankful for the inspiring meditation and prayer we had tonight. Prepare us, God, to receive all the benefits from the energy of being here. We find the shower of gratitude over us. We choose to pay reverence to you, to our guardian angel, to all the mentors of this house, and we also choose to pay reverence to the divine light inside us, because we are part of you and we are going towards you without fear, because we are protected. We keep this vibration, stay in this warm place in your heart, sending an extra amount of love to your guardian angel as we prepare for the passes, and the guardian angel will be there with us. And we one more time we'll get a chance to connect, to surrender to the love of God within us.